Well, former President Donald Trump is appealing a Manhattan federal court's verdict in the E. Jean Carroll battery and defamation case. The jury awarded Carroll $5 million in damages on Tuesday. After a 2-week trial, the jury found Donald Trump liable in the civil case for abuse and defamation, but not for rape. The 19-year-old case, this case goes back years. And E. Jean Carroll may actually, according to this New York Times report, sue Trump for a third time after the vile, her word, comments that he made during that CNN town hall. Her lawyer says that the former president's mocking comments in Wednesday's New Hampshire town hall could create fresh legal jeopardy in this case. To talk about this more, let's welcome in our panel, a couple of good friends here. George Papadopoulos, he has worked on President Trump's campaign in 2016. He's also a Newsmax contributor. And Jason Nichols joins us as well. Jason, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having
So,
me.
George, E. Jean Carroll is claiming that she's going to maybe sue Donald Trump a third time for this. What do you think, though, about Trump's comments during the CNN town hall?
John, I think that both private citizen Trump, candidate Trump, and President Trump has faced a barrage of various unbased attacks, not only against his own character, but also his presidency for so long that he has no other option except to be on offense at this point, because he understands that if he remains on defense whatsoever and he bows to the mob, he's going to be weakened, both in the eyes of not only his electorate, but potentially even the judicial system in this country, which is obviously targeting him and trying to prevent him from actually running a smooth and coherent campaign towards a 2024 campaign. So I think the president had to be on offense. I understand his frustration in the situation, and I don't think he made a mistake in how he responded to this egregious, decision by the Manhattan jury.
Jason, taking it away from the E. Jean Carroll case and focusing more on the town hall, I wanted to ask you about how you think it went. But first, let's take a look at something that Anderson Cooper said to the audience at CNN after the fact.
Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions. You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again.
That is Anderson Cooper right there. Jason, a lot of Democrats seem to be very upset because Donald Trump obviously did very well in this type of environment. He stood fast, answered questions. At least he opened himself up to some questions, too. But do you think he will be given this chance again on CNN or maybe on another platform like MSNBC?
Well, I don't think he'll get an opportunity like that on MSNBC. I think, first of all, when we look at CNN and the way they've restructured things, they're owned in part by a guy named John Malone, who has said that he admires Fox News. He wanted CNN to turn into Fox News, and Chris Licht, who obviously works for John Malone on some level. So obviously, they are trying to recruit back some of the center-right audience that they lost during the Jeff Zucker years. And I don't think it's going to work. I think that people who are center-right are going to turn on Newsmax, or they're going to turn on Fox News, or they're going to go to the Daily Wire. They're not going to go to CNN. So I think the big loser in this was actually CNN. The left now doesn't trust, and now the right isn't going to go back to them. So they're going to be kind of the Mike Pence of cable news, in that they don't have an audience. They don't have a home. And I think that that's really going to hurt them. If anything, you should learn, I think, in cable news, in niche kind of cable news, is that you lean in. Now, I agree with the rest of what Anderson Cooper said, and that is that we need to be out of our media silos sometimes. Sometimes you have to be able to tolerate hearing the other side. Lots of networks don't do that.
That's why we have you here, Jason.
Right. And you know, honestly, I'm going to be honest. This is one of the reasons why I like Newsmax versus the other big right-wing cable network, because there's not a lot of bullying, and I actually get to make a point every now and again. And I think that that's really what people need to hear, is both sides of an issue. And I understand that Newsmax has a right.
Jason.
You know, you have a conservative leaning. But it's good to
And I'm going to have to cut you off because we're out of time, but it's not because I was trying to keep you from making your point. And I do think people are tuning in because, they'll get to see you on the Chris Plant Show, the Chris Plant Squad. You're doing a great job there. And George, it's great to see you again. Thank you for being with us, guys. We've got to cut it off, unfortunately, because of time, but we'll talk to you both soon.
Thanks, Sean.
guys.